After the Battle of Uhud, when the Quraysh army returned to Mecca, the Jews of Mecca came to Abu Sufyan, Khalid and Ikrimah in such a manner as if the Jews had been defeated in Uhud. The leaders of the Jews had told Abu Sufyan that the Muslims had not been defeated and the battle had ended without victory or defeat. So this is the defeat of the Quraysh. This is the failure of the Jews. The Jews had expressed sympathy with the Quraysh as if they were just dying of grief over the failure of the Quraysh. In those days Khalid had seen Jehovah for the first time. He had left the city for his horse. When he was returning he met Jehovah on the way. Jehovah's smile stopped him. "I cannot accept it." Walid's son returned unsuccessful from the battle. Saying this he started to wave his hand on Khalid's horse's neck. Then she said, "I love this horse who went to fight against the Muslims." Khalid bin Walid came down from the horse as if Jehovah's magic had made him stand on the ground from the horse. What would be a bigger failure than this, that you could not defeat the Muslims? Your defeat is our defeat. Now we will support you, but even though we are with you, you will not be able to see us with you. Khalid bin Walid felt as if his tongue was shut. Khalid, who fought against swords, spears and arrows, could not face Jehovah's smile. Khalid bin Walid asked, "If the Jews are not with us, how can they be useful to us?" Jehovah replied, "Do you think that only an arrow can cross a man's body? A woman's smile can make a sword fall from the hands of a brave man like you." Khalid bin Walid wanted to ask him something but could not ask anything. Jehovah looked into his eyes and smiled on the lips like the petals of flowers. Jehovah walked ahead. Khalid bin Walid kept looking at him. When his horse snorted, Khalid bin Walid came to himself. He got on the horse very quickly and started walking. He came a little far and looked back. Jehovah stopped and looked. Jehovah raised his hand and waved. Now 2 Muslims were being auctioned. And, a man told Khalid how those Muslims had been deceived. That man also took the name of Jehovah. So Khalid decided that he would find out how Jehovah had used that magic. He found a leader of his tribe. He discovered how these Muslims were caught by the Quraysh. Then 3 or 4 leaders of Jehovah and 2 or 3 other Jews went to Sharjah bin Mughis. This tribe was a warrior tribe, but the influence of the Muslims on it was so strong that people were afraid of magicians. It became famous in that tribe that there was some magic in the hands of the prophet. The Jews chose that tribe for their groundless operations because, well, it was a warrior tribe. The Jews were a very intelligent people. They thought that if the illusion of the magic of the Muslims spread, then other tribes would also be influenced by it. These Jews went to the leader of that tribe, Sharjah bin Mughis, and told him a lot to remove this illusion that the Muslims are magicians. But Sharjah bin Mughis did not accept. At night, at the behest of the Jews, Sharjah bin Mughis arranged the hospitality of those guests out in the open. Those Jews gave alcohol to their hosts with their own hands. The alcohol that was given to Sharjah bin Mughis and a few leaders of his tribe, the Jews added some kind of a drink to it. Then the Jews showed some signs of their magic. Jehovah cast a spell on his beauty. There was also a dance in which the Jews were sleeping. While dancing, the clothes that were on their bodies also fell on the ground. The Jews took their hosts with them. The next day when Sharjah bin Mughis woke up, he felt as if he had woken up from a very beautiful dream. His thoughts had changed. After a while he again sat with the other leaders of his tribe near the Jews. The Jews were also present there. Seeing Jehovah, Sharjah bin Mughis became uncontrollable. He clung to Jehovah's arm and pulled him close to him. It is not necessary to challenge the enemy and defeat him. We can kill Muslims in other ways as well. I will tell you one of those ways. Khalid bin Walid was told that the Jews had told him how to deceive the Muslims from Medina. And Sharjah bin Mughis, who had sent a man to the Prophet, had a Jew in him. Khalid considered the Muslims his worst enemy, but he did not like these non-combat methods. Khalid bin Walid went to his house. He told one of his servants to call Jehovah the Jew. Jehovah came to him as soon as he was waiting for his call. Khalid bin Walid told Jehovah, "You have deceived the Muslims, and the people of the tribe of Mughis have started calling you a magician." But I did not like this method. Listen to me carefully, Khalid. You are a warrior in the name of your tribe, but you have a lack of wisdom. You have to kill the enemy. Kill him with a sword, and kill him with sharp eyes. Only a woman like me can kill the enemy without an arrow and a sword. Today, 4 years later, when Khalid bin Walid was going alone in the desert, he remembered Jehovah's words. To this extent, he was happy that the Jews were with him. But he also knew that in the friendship of the Jews, where there is the enmity of the Muslims, there are also their own interests. However, he had accepted that if Jehovah is not a magician, then there is definitely a magic effect on his head. Khalid bin Walid's horse was going towards Medina. Khubaib bin Adi and Zaid bin al-Dathinna came to his mind again. People were talking about them. Finally, the deal was made and the two men of the Quraysh bought them for a lot of gold. These two men took the two companions to Abu Sufyan. Those who bought them said, "We have bought these two men who went away from our belief to Muhammad to avenge the blood of the people of the Quraysh who were killed in Uhud. We hand them over to you. You are the leader and brother-in-law of the Quraysh." Yes, the land of Mecca is thirsty for the blood of the Muslims. Give the blood of these two Muslims to your land. But I remembered that this month that is passing is the holy month of Uzzah and Hubal. Let this month end. The next day, take them to the open field and tie them with wooden poles and call me. When Khalid bin Walid heard Abu Sufyan's order, he went to him. Khalid bin Walid said to Abu Sufyan, "I did not like your decision. We could not give the blood of the Muslims to our land, despite being in double and triple numbers. So we do not have the right to bring two Muslims here by deceit, and shed their blood. Abu Sufyan, do you know that there were 3 or 4 women who deceived the Muslims? Do you want your enemy to say that the people of the Quraysh are now sitting in the shadow of women?" Khalid, I used to consider Khubaib and Zaid as close to me as you used to consider them close to me. You are still considering them close to you, and you are forgetting that they are now our enemies. If you want to free them, then bring 10 times more gold than this and take them away. No, this was the voice of Abu Sufyan's wife, Hind. Even after biting Hamza's heart, the fire of revenge did not cool down in my heart. Even if you bring all the gold in the world in front of me, I will not free these two Muslims. Khalid said, "Abu Sufyan, if my wife had said this in between my words, I would have pulled her tongue." Hind's voice came, "You can pull your wife's tongue. Your father was not killed, your son was not killed, your uncle was not killed, a brother was imprisoned and you went to the Muslims and asked for alms and freed your brother. You do not know the fire that is burning in my heart." Khalid bin Walid looked at Abu Sufyan. On the face of Abu Sufyan, where there was the impression of a manly and a warlord, there was also a glimpse of the helplessness of a husband. Yes, Khalid, those who are hurt are very different from you. Calling someone your enemy is something else. But it is very impossible to forgive the blood of one of your loved ones to your enemy. Who will you convince to spare the lives of these two Muslims? You go, Khalid, leave those two Muslims to the mercy of your tribe. Khalid bin Walid left silently. Then Khalid remembered that terrible scene when Khubaib and Zaid were standing tied with 2 sticks of wood in the field. Screams of the spectators had gathered. From there, Abu Sufyan and the Indian horses entered the attack. The slogans of the attack and the revenge slogans were louder than before. If anyone was silent in that attack, it was only Khalid bin Walid. Abu Sufyan rode the horse near both the prisoners, and both told him that they want to offer the last prayer of their lives. Abu Sufyan allowed them. Khalid bin Walid, who was now going towards Medina when he remembered that scene, both the hands of the prisoners were opened, and they began to pray in the spirit of Qibla. Khalid bin Walid, who had been affected at that time, was now recovering from his body after 4 years. Sitting on the back of the horse, Khalid bin Walid bowed his head. Khubaib bin Adi and Zaid bin al-Dathinna, who had nothing to do with the slogans of the attack, were in awe of their death in the presence of God. They raised their hands for prayer, no one can tell. History is also silent as to what they prayed to God. They would not have asked God to set them free. They got up and stood with their backs to the wooden poles. Abu Sufyan said loudly to Khubaib and Zaid, "Oh, unfortunate humans, your fate and life are in my hands. Say with your own words that we are leaving Islam, and we are now from among the people of the Quraysh, and we consider 360 idols to be justified. Announce this, and take back your lives from me. If not, embrace death." Also think that your death will not be easy. O worshipper of falsehood, Abu Sufyan, we curse these idols of stone who cannot even fly a fly on their own. We curse Uzza and Hubal, who will throw you into the fire of hell in the next world. We are worshippers of that one God who is merciful and compassionate. And we are lovers of Muhammad, who is the messenger of God. Khubaib, my path is that which Zaid has shown you, O people of Mecca. The truth is that on whose name we are being sacrificed. Abu Sufyan ordered, "Tie them to these pillars. They are eager to taste the taste of death." Both hands were tied behind the pillars. Abu Sufyan turned his horse and came towards the attack. Abu Sufyan said in a loud voice, "I swear by Uzza and Hubal, I have not seen anyone in my tribe who is ready to sacrifice his life for his leader, just as the followers of Muhammad are sacrificed in his name." Hind was standing a little far on his horse. A few slaves were standing near him. A slave showed such zeal to please his masters that he carried a spear and ran towards the two prisoners without anyone's command. And he struck the spear so hard on the chest of Zaid that the spear came out of his back. Zaid bin al-Dathinna was martyred immediately. That slave looked at the attack with a look of expectation. But the attack started to make some other kind of noise. The spectators said, "This is not a spectacle. This Muslim is not worthy of such an easy death. Show us a spectacle." Kill this slave who has shown so much mercy to a Muslim. Kill him as soon as possible. Many men ran towards that slave with swords and spears. But many men ran and went between those men and the slave. A man who was riding on a horse challenged him and said, "Beware, stand behind. Arab blood is not so cowardly that the whole tribe of Quraysh has gathered to kill 2 men. I swear to God, if I were in the place of Abu Sufyan, I would have set these 2 men free. They are our blood and they are our guests. We will fight them in the battlefield." This was Khalid ibn al-Walid. Many voices were heard from the crowd. He is right. It is against the tradition of the Arabs to tie the enemy and kill him. Many voices were heard from the crowd of spectators. They said, "We will see the spectacle. We will kill the enemy in such a way that he dies and lives." After a while, the crowd of spectators split into 2 parts. One group was against Khubaib, and he thought it was against the traditional bravery of the Arabs. The other group was shouting to kill Khubaib. When Khalid bin Walid saw the people of Mecca and the spectators coming from afar shouting at each other, he went to Abu Sufyan in fear. "Did you see, Abu Sufyan? See how many supporters I have here? I have killed one, leave the other. Otherwise the people of Quraysh will clash with each other." Hind saw Khalid bin Walid standing next to Abu Sufyan. She understood that Khalid was also in favor of the release of Khubaib. Hind hugged the horse and went to them. Hind said in a loud voice, "Khalid, I know what you want. Don't you consider Abu Sufyan your leader? If not, leave here. What I have thought will happen." "Khalid, if you think that my order and my intentions are not right, then let me act on them. If I take back my order, it will be my weakness. Then people will expect me to take back my order on all my orders." Khalid bin Walid remembered today on the way to Medina, and he was sorry that he accepted the order of Abu Sufyan. Khalid bin Walid's greatest quality was the obedience to his leader. He kept a stone on his chest and accepted the order of Abu Sufyan that there should be no tradition of disobeying orders in the people of Quraysh. O people of Mecca, if we are divided on the killing of 2 Muslims here today, then we will also be divided on some issue in the battlefield, and the victory will be of your enemy. If you deviate from your leader's order, then your end will be very bad. The noise of the attack had decreased, but Khalid saw that many of the leaders of the people of Mecca were returning home with traces of hatred on their faces. Seeing them, many people who had come to watch the spectacle went back. Khalid bin Walid did not want to stay there, but he was feeling the danger that the two groups would clash with each other. Most of the people of his tribe were present in the spectacle. He could at least keep his tribe under his control. India had made full arrangements for the spectacle. At his signal, 40 young boys who had rings in their hands, ran and shouted, came out of the spectacle and started shouting and dancing around Khubaib. 2 or 4 boys, wearing rings, went to Khubaib and ran to attack Khubaib, but they stopped Khubaib without reaching Ghazand. My God is true and Muhammad is the messenger of God. A few more boys crossed the rings and shouted at them, as if they would pierce the body of Khubaib, but they attacked and stopped the attack. At Khubaib's shout, the crowd of spectators started shouting and dancing. This game of boys continued for a while. After that, the boys adopted the method that they attacked the ring with great force. But Khubaib's body was attacked so much that the rings fell off his skin and went back. This game continued for a long time. The shouts of the spectators and Khubaib kept raising the slogans of Allah is great, and Muhammad is the messenger of God. Khubaib's clothes were red with blood. Abu Jahl's son, Ikrimah, took the ring in his hand and went to the boys and started giving them instructions. The boys were now sticking their rings in Khubaib's body. They were dancing in a circle. There was no part of Khubaib's body where the rings did not stick, and blood was not dripping from there. The rings were also hit on his face. When it was too late and the boys were tired of dancing and sticking the rings, Ikrimah removed the boys from there. Khubaib was bathed in blood and was still alive. He was looking everywhere. There was no shortage of slogans. Ikrimah stood in front of him and carried the ring and hit it so hard in Khubaib's chest that due to the short distance, the ring passed through Khubaib's body. Khubaib was martyred. The cry of India was heard, "Let their corpses remain here." Now for many days keep watching the spectacle of their corpses rotting. This incident was of July 6, 25. Now that Khalid bin Walid remembered, he felt the pain in his heart. The murder of Khubaib and Zaid also sowed a seed of disagreement among the leaders of the Quraysh. Just like those two Muslims prayed at the last moment and preferred death over leaving Islam, he left a deep impression on many leaders of the Quraysh. If not for Islam, Khalid bin Walid himself praised Khubaib and Zaid in his heart.